I go ahead? You want to?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now you can straight away go ahead.
Yes. Very good morning, folks. At the outset, let me thank the Institute of Cost Accountants of India for this wonderful webinar, arranging this webinar series on Indian accounting standards. And today we are going to see a very important, I will say this standard is very unique also, because it is something related to taxes. Generally, Indian accounting standard doesn't speak about taxes at all. It will only speak about the various prescription with respect to the financial reporting, and also with respect to the disclosure part. So this is a standard which is very different. And before I go into the topic, I must thank Central Council member CMA H. Padmanabhanji, and also the newly elected President and Vice President, CMA Viswarup Basu, otherwise very fondly called as Viswarup Dada Ji, and from Southern India, our Vice President CMA P. Raju Iyer. A hearty congratulations to both of them on being elevated as President and Vice President for the year 2020 and 2021. Good. So with this brief, let me first jump into this topic, especially from a perspective of this number 12. And number 12 has a relationship with the income tax also. And today, PAN number is a 10-digit number, GST is a 15-digit number, but Aadhaar is a 12-digit number. And I want to tell you guys, and today this Aadhaar has replaced or it has even tagged with the PAN, because out of 133 crore population, 122 crore population have been allotted Aadhaar. So that is why Aadhaar today has been a de facto number compared to a PAN. Now, in financial reporting, income taxes has a very unique place. I want to first make one observation. This standard has 36 pages. I repeat that this standard has 36 pages, 88 paras, 2 appendix, and both the appendix forms integral part of this standard. And I want to first make this point very clear to all of you. What is it? Why this particular standard? Why this particular standard? What is the objective of this standard? And I want to make one observation to all of you, that the objective of this standard itself will runs for 1 page. Out of this 36 pages, 1 page is exclusive only for objective. And I wish all of you must read this objective, which is alone I have given it as in 4 slides. Objective. I have given it in 4 slides. So I will take a few minutes to give a brief about this objective, so that you are very clear with what we are about to discuss in this Indian accounting standards. I want to make one point very clear. After that only I will introduce some of the terms like accounting profit, taxable profit, tax expense, current tax, what are the temporary differences, all this stuff. Now, first point what I want to drive all of you is with respect to the Ind AS 12 as vis-a-vis AS 22. Accounting standard 22. We had a previous version of the same standard, deferred taxes, that was AS 22. And now we have Ind AS 12, income taxes. Wow. Is the Ind AS 12 is same as AS 22? There are many, I will say, lot of differences with respect to AS 22 and Ind AS 12. So the first difference which I want to highlight to all of you is this is Ind AS 12 is a balance sheet approach. So I think this one point will actually give you an understanding how we are going to go about. Okay, so and with respect to AS 22, it is not a balance sheet approach. It is purely income statement approach, where we will find what is taxable income and what is accounting income. So first point I am driving here is very important point. What I am driving here is the book profit. What do you call it as the accounting profit and the taxable profit need not be same. Generally, it is not same. Why? For various reasons. What is that? The method adopted to arrive at an accounting profit and the method adopted to arrive at the taxable profit, both are not same. We can take many examples. There are certain expenditure under Income Tax Act which will only be deductible on cash basis. That means only when you spend it, only when you expend it. Okay. Of course, there are certain expenses which will be amortized over a period of years. But in India, you will be charging off in 1 year. In income tax, it will be amortized over a period of years. Vice versa is also possible. In India, you will amortize over a period of year. In income tax, you will charge off in 1 year. Another example, depreciation. Very common, simple example. In Indian accounting standard, you will follow, maybe you can follow a depreciation. Depreciation, first of all, depreciation rate will be different. Okay, and method of depreciation may be same or may be different also. So first, rate will be different. Okay, second, method can be different. For example, Indians may follow straight line method, and income tax follows only WT. So depreciation under both these are different. For example, I will give you some examples and all. With a numeric example, I will discuss it. But first, I am driving the main point. Why this standard? Why this standard? If this is clear, then many terms are very easy for us to appreciate. So that is why I am making this objective very clear first. I am driving this point very important to all of you. So this is point number 1. Coming to point number 2. Good. So I made my first observation to all of you that between India AS 12 and AS 22, the fundamental difference is AS 12 follows balance sheet approach and AS 22 follows the income statement approach. Okay, good. Now, the next point what I'm going to drive to all of you is I'm going to explain the accounting profit and the tax profit. So, yeah, please look at this. For the purpose of this para 2, I will come a little later. Please look at para 1. This standard shall be applied in accounting for income taxes. Now, I'll give you one particular. These are the 2 examples I have taken from annual report of. One is a Tata Enterprise. This is a Tata Enterprise annual report for 2019-20. Rallis India Limited. So Rallis India Limited annual report, that point alone I have taken. Please look here, item number 6. Tax expenses, current tax and deferred tax. So we'll understand what it is. Current tax is actually negative and deferred tax is actually positive. Okay. Tax expense, current tax means it is a debit item. 6,906.72. Okay. So all amount are in rupees lakhs except for EPS share information. So this is 69 crores is the current tax. Deferred tax is 15 crores. I mean deferred tax asset. It is a 15 crores asset is there. So we'll see what it is. We'll go one by one. Okay. So what is tax expense? So what is the second point is? I am going to explain to you the accounting profit and taxable profit. So as per India AS 12 definition. Okay. Because of that only you have this 6.1 and 6.2. Okay. Good. And this is Rallis India Limited Annual Report 2019-20, page number 129. This is in page number 129. Rallis India Limited. This is a Tata Enterprise. And this is Butterfly Gandhimathi Appliances Limited. This is Butterfly Gandhimathi Appliances Limited. Annual Report 18-19. And from that, I've taken page number 62 here, which will give you the disclosure part of it. So please wait, I'll actually come to this particular part. I'll explain this. Okay. So the Rallis India, Butterfly Gandhimathi Appliances Limited, as well as the other part. So I'll come to this one by one. So the second point which I'm driving to all of you is what is meant by the accounting profit and tax profit. Okay. So what is accounting profit for all of you guys? Accounting profit versus taxable profit. Please understand these terms. Taxable profit. Nothing else. I'm online. Nothing else. I'm online. Thank you. Right. Now, what is accounting profit? Accounting profit is your profit before deducting tax expense. And what is tax expense? This is your tax expense. So profit before tax, this 23,926.96 lakhs is your accounting profit. So what is your accounting profit in your Rallis India Limited? So your para number 5, 23,926.96 lakhs. That is your accounting profit. And what is it? Please look at this. Accounting profit is profit. Loss is a negative. The same example, you have to presume that if my revenue is less and expense is more, this will be a negative. So let us not go into both the dimension. Understand one dimension, the other dimension is automatic for you. So the accounting profit is a profit for a period before deducting tax expense. So please look at this. So before deducting tax expense. So after deducting tax expense, what will you get? After deducting tax expense, okay, you will actually get, so profit before tax minus tax expense, you will get profit for the year. So here, profit before tax minus tax expense. This item number 7 will call as profit after tax. Otherwise, it is called as profit for the year. So your 23,926.96 minus 5,380.36, you subtract it, you will get 18,546.60. The 18,540.60 is called as your profit after tax. So accounting profit is profit for a period before deducting tax expense. So after deducting tax expense is your net profit. Okay, this is your net profit. So what is accounting profit? As per Ind AS, accounting profit means profit before deducting tax expense. Okay. Now what is taxable profit? Actually, taxable profit definition is here. It is in para number 5. But can I give an example for taxable profit? No, taxable profit is not presented in financial reporting. It is your memorandum computation based on the respective prescription of the income tax provisions. So based on the respective prescription of the income tax provision. So therefore, what is taxable profit for a period? So here it is 1920 for a period determined. Okay, computed, determined. Now here it is before deducting. So why the word is called determined? Because you don't do any accounting there. It is only a memorandum calculation. It is determined, computed in accordance with the rules. That is Income Tax Act and Income Tax rules established by Taxation Authority, CBDT, Ministry of Finance, upon which income taxes are payable. Recoverable is loss. Okay. Technically, the government will not pay you any taxes. You can actually carry forward the loss. Now, this particular standard also speaks about a very interesting term called carry backward of loss. First year you have got a profit, second year you have got a loss. And the second year loss you can set off with first year profit. Reverse is possible in Income Tax Act. First year you have got a loss, second year you have got a profit. Loss you carry forward and offset it. That is possible. But the India AS also speaks about carry backward of loss. Very interesting. That is given in para number 13. Please wait. One by one, I'll introduce the concept. So amazing. So amazing. This is one standard where if you need to appreciate the paras, you need to also understand the income tax provision. No, I am only good in income tax. I don't know India AS. Very difficult to appreciate India AS 12. No, I am good in India AS. I can't understand income tax. Very difficult to appreciate India AS 12. You need to have a fair idea about income tax provisions. Also, how the taxable profits are computed. So I'm sure all of you are professionals and you have a fair idea how the taxable profit is computed. Okay, so taxable profit is arithmetic where you do the mathematics plus and minus you do to arrive at your taxable profit. So that is taxable profit upon which income taxes are payable. Upon which income taxes are payable. Now, so that is taxable profit. So this is using your memorandum of computation of income. So memorandum of income. So using memorandum of income, you will calculate taxable profit. Okay, so please be very clear about it. Okay, good. Now come to accounting profit, taxable profit. So this is our second point. Okay, so your accounting profit is in para number 5. Taxable profit also is in para number 5. Good. Now next is what is called as the tax expense. Now please look at this tax expense, current tax, deferred tax. All these are defined actually. Current tax, deferred tax. Okay. Now after this, I'll go one by one. I'll unravel it. Okay. So what taxable profit? Now what is tax expense? As per your the standalone statement of profit and loss account, or wherever it, even if it's consolidated, also you have this. Tax expense is the aggregate of your current tax and deferred tax. Please look at this 6,906.72 minus 1,526.36. What you get? It is 5,380.36. Okay, it is 5,380.36. Very good. So now, please come to the definition. So what is tax expense? So now we are going to understand three things. Okay, so point number 1, what is the relation between Ind AS 12 and AS 22? Point number 2, what is accounting profit and taxable profit? Point number 3, what are those three expenses? Tax expense, okay, I mean tax expense, current tax, okay, and deferred tax. Now, why the word is called tax expense and sometimes it's called income also? Very rare in Indian tax scenarios, tax income. Actually, unless otherwise you have a loss and you have a tax benefit out of it, that only you can call it as tax income. So, rarely it is difficult to give a Indian scenario example for tax income. The only example what I can give is you have a loss and you can have a savings on your loss by carrying forward and then setting off that with your future profits. Okay, so thereby you are able to get a tax income. So that is what I can explain about tax income. But this this term is always forward looking under Indian scenario. Under Indian scenario, there are certain countries which is not even forward looking but also backward looking. See today. Please take the same example of COVID-19 situation. 1819 I made a profit, or for example 1920 I made a profit. Now in the same example, see here 1920 I made a profit 23,926.96 lakhs. So that means 239 crores I made a profit. Now 2021 I will make a loss. Now this loss can I offset with my 1920 profit. Indian Income Tax Act doesn't make a provision, but you will be very surprised. You have a very forward thinking in what do you say in India is very special. I must say this is very, very special. So this is para number 13, which speaks about carry backward of loss. Okay, carry backward. Maybe we have not been exposed to these kind of prescription in income tax law. So the benefit relating to a tax law, please look at this, that can be carried back to recover current tax of a previous period shall be recognized as an asset. Very interesting. Okay, so this is a para. I don't want to go beyond this para, but I want to just highlight that this concept of forward looking and backward looking, both are there in the prescription of Ind AS. But whether you have the same prescription in the respective tax laws, you should go by, because this is Ind AS, and the Ind AS is actually the Desi version of IFRS. Maybe they could have deleted this para. They could have deleted this para, but today you have a possibility. Today you have a possibility, and I believe that this period, this 2021, especially coming February 21, you will have a budget. There is a possibility. That they may extend the filing date of last year. Okay, or they may even give a possibility to file a revised return also. Second, they may allow you to set off your 2021 losses, if at all I have accumulated, maybe special case, to set off with your previous year profit as a special case. Then they bring a new section also. If that is the situation, then para 13, if it is deleted, okay, keeping in mind the Indian scenario, then we need to actually bring a new amendment to India. So that is why I think it is very forward looking, even though it is looking backward, right? Looking backward, this thinking is forward thinking. This thinking is forward. So very interesting. So therefore, please understand what is meant by, so taxable profit, accounting profit, we are clear. What is tax expense? Aggregate amount included in the determination of profit for the period in respect of current tax and deferred tax. So that is what I mentioned here. So what is tax expense? 6906.72 plus 1526.36, total is 5380.36. So taxable, what do you call it? Tax expense. So tax expense is actually 5380.36 lakhs. Okay, so that is actually negative. 23,926.96 is positive profit before tax. 5380.36 is your negative. You have to subtract it. So when you subtract it, actually you will get 18,846.60. Okay, so that is your profit after tax. Good. Now we have understood what is tax expense means. But tax expense is the combination of current tax and deferred tax. Current tax and deferred tax. Now, what is current tax? What is deferred tax? This is what you need to understand. Current tax, please look here. Current tax is 6,906.72. And how will I calculate this current tax? Very simple. Current tax is related to taxable profit. Current tax is related to taxable profit. What is taxable profit? Profit computed, determined as per the tax provisions. So what is your current tax? The income tax payable in respect of taxable profit. So that is current tax. So in this example, the 6,906.72, how I arrived at? So my tax rates will be say 22% or 25%. Okay. So what is my turnover here? My turnover is actually 2,251 crores. So I've crossed that 250 crores. I'm not a micro, small and medium enterprise. Rallis India Limited is a very big company. The Tata Enterprise. So naturally, I'm not a MSME, I'm not a startup entity, so I don't get the concessional tax rate. So my normal tax rate will be 30%. So I will compute my taxable profit. On that, I will calculate 30%, and that 30% is current tax. So this current tax, even though it is an accounting entry, the computation part of it will be based on the income tax prescription. Okay. So please understand this. So what is your definition? Current tax is the amount of income tax payable in respect of taxable profit for a period. Therefore, you need to understand taxable profit. Then what is your deferred tax? Okay. So what is your deferred tax? So your deferred tax, now your next one is deferred tax. 1526.36. Okay. Your deferred tax. Your deferred tax is what your next point all about. So the amount of deferred tax asset and deferred tax liability is your this is deferred tax asset and this is deferred tax liability. So what is your deferred tax liability? These are the amounts of income taxes payable in future period. Okay. And what is the deferred tax? This is the amount of income tax recoverable in future period. So the net of that is your, in your case, what is your point here? Deferred tax. So 1526.36. Now I am going to give an example here. Please look at this. So deferred tax asset / liabilities. So recognized deferred tax asset and the liability. So deferred tax asset and liabilities are attributable to the following. Please look at this particular chart. Okay. So similarly, you also have the same. This is actually I have taken this from Butterfly Gandhimathi Appliances Limited. Similar to this, you also have a table for Rallis India Limited. How that particular figure of your figure is 1526.36. 1526.36 has been divided into your deferred tax asset and deferred tax liability. So that breakup is given in the next paragraphs. I mean, in the notes they have given. I'll just share with you the page number for you to actually refer it a little later. That particular page number is so the income taxes, income tax recognized in P&L account. So you have the current tax and deferred tax. It is in page number 154. So 129 only I have given now. Now 154, they have given the breakup of this figure. What is this figure? 1526.36. Now what is this 1526.36? 1526.36 is it is actually the what is included in both 1526.36. You have the current tax which is 6906.72 and deferred tax is 1526.36. This 1526.36 consists of your deferred tax asset as well as deferred tax liability. Both are there, and both and that particular snapshot I haven't given you here. You can kindly go to the page number 154 of this annual report, where they have given how this 1526.36 actually has been brought in. Now that is why I have given next page with respect to the recognized deferred tax asset and liability. So please look at this. Your deferred tax asset is 1828.37 and you have the deferred tax asset is 1964.66. The net deferred tax and deferred tax liability. So 1964.66, 1828.37. Net of that is 136.29. This will be treated as your net deferred tax asset. So it is plus. If it is negative means it is net deferred tax liability. And this is what 136.29 will be captured in the what is it? The profit and loss account in the Butterfly Gandhimathi Appliances Limited. It would have they have actually captured it in their tax expense. Okay, that is for your kind information. Good. Now let us move to the next one. So tax expense I have explained. Current tax I have explained. And what is now deferred tax also I have explained. Now let us move into deferred tax consists of two things. Deferred tax asset as well as deferred tax liability. Now to appreciate this, you need to so current tax is clear, tax expense is clear. Now you need to understand very important thing, what is called as tax base and temporary differences, taxable temporary differences and deductible temporary differences, effective tax rate. All this, if you have a fair idea, I am sure you can appreciate the entire subject much better. Number one, what is meant by temporary difference? Please look at this, temporary differences. This is a very important term because temporary differences is connected with the deferred tax liability as well as deferred tax asset. Now, I want to make one observation to all of you here. In accounting standard 22, in AS 22, they had two things. One is called as, they had permanent differences as well as timing differences. The term that was used is called as timing differences and permanent differences. So in Ind AS 22, I mean Ind AS 12, okay, AS 22 had the meaning called, the term called timing difference and the permanent difference. These are the two terms there. In Ind AS 12, they only speak about temporary differences, other than temporary differences. This other than temporary difference, this temporary difference is what is called as your timing difference under AS 22. Other than temporary difference is your permanent differences, which cannot be reversed. Okay, so that is why this part is not discussed much in detail. But in AS 22, permanent difference also has been discussed, which is not required at all. That is why your AS 22 is purely income approach, income statement approach. Here, it is balance sheet approach. Now, I want to share with you the very important term. All of you must understand this para number 7. Please look at para number 7. Okay. Please look at this. Temporary differences are differences between the carrying amount of an asset in the balance sheet. Please look at this word. They are not using the statement of financial position. They are only using the balance sheet. Carrying amount of an asset or liability in the balance sheet. So it is balance sheet oriented. And it's tax based. So what is tax based? What is your carrying amount of assets in balance sheet? So tax based we have to understand now. Then we'll come for this. So this entire standard only speaks about how much, for example, let me take, now I'm going to give some examples to give to understand what is meant by tax base. Then I'll come for the temporary differences. Let me go to the word called tax base and I'm going to give example here. Okay, now what is tax base? Once you understand tax base, you will be in a position to appreciate the temporary differences, taxable temporary differences and deductible temporary differences. Once you understand what is meant by a taxable temporary differences, we will know that deferred tax liability will come. Once you understand what is meant by a deductible temporary differences, you will be able to know that deferred tax asset will come. Okay, so that is what I have given it here in a small box. So once you understand this, taxable temporary difference results in DTL, deductible temporary difference results in DTA. Now to understand this, you need to appreciate two things to understand this difference. The moment I say temporary difference, difference of what? Difference of some two things. What is this two? One is called tax base. Another is called the carrying amount in your balance sheet. So balance sheet carrying amount and your tax base. For example, what is tax base? What is the carrying amount as per the taxation provision? That is called the tax base. Okay. Now I'll give examples. Now then we will understand what I mean here. Okay. Tax base of an asset. Similarly, para 8 speaks about tax base of a liability. So I'll only speak about one example. From asset perspective, I'll give one or two examples. From liability also, I'll give one or two examples. Okay, please look at this. Tax base of an asset is the amount that will be deductible for tax purpose against any taxable economic benefit that will flow to an entity when it recovers the carrying amount of the asset. Oh, if those economic benefits will not be taxable, the tax base of the asset is equal to its carrying amount. Now, I will come to this sentence by giving examples. Okay, please look at this example. First example. Now, as I told you, what is the difference I'm going to speak about? I'm going to speak about two differences. my book balance and my tax balance, my prescription in the tax law, as per that, what is the balance as per my tax provision? Let us take an asset. A machine is costing 100 rupees. For tax purpose, depreciation of 30 has already been deducted in the current and prior period. Okay, that is called accumulated depreciation. Okay. For example, every year, say past 2 years or whatever it is, 15, 15 or 10 into 3, whatever it is. And the remaining cost will be deductible in future period. So for tax purpose, 30 you have deducted. So 100 minus 30 is called as 70. 70 is called tax base. Now, in your books of accounts, you would have depreciated maybe 20% for 2 years. So that means a straight line. So 40. So 20 for the first year, 20 for second year, so 40. So 60 is your carrying amount. So what is your tax base? Is the amount that will be deductible for tax purpose against any taxable economic benefit. So here 100 minus 30, 70 is called the tax base of the machine. Now what is your carrying amount? Please look at this. This is your tax temporary differences between the carrying amount of an asset in the balance sheet. Now in your balance sheet, 100 you are depreciated 20% for 20 years. So 60 is your book balance. 70 is your the tax base. I will not call it as tax balance. This is book balance. This is tax balance. So as per Ind AS 12, the term that is used is called as carrying amount in the balance sheet. Carrying amount in balance sheet is called your book balance, and tax balance is called as tax base. If both are same, there is no difference. If both are different, there is a temporary difference. Why temporary difference? Because anyhow 70 you are going to depreciate, because 100 minus 30, 70. 70 also you are going to depreciate, and this 100 minus 40, 60 you are going to depreciate. Now the point here is, please look at one example which I am going to give you now. Very, very interesting. So now slowly I am getting into the subject. Please look at this example. A mathematical example I am not showing you. Look at this example. Okay. An entity had acquired an asset for rupees 10,000. The depreciation rate as per income tax is 40%. Wow. Okay. So income tax depreciation is 40% on WD. So every year, so now you have to use the calculator and then do it. So let me have a calculator. Okay. So an entity has acquired at 10,000. Depreciation is 40% on WD basis. In books of accounts, entity claims depreciation on straight line basis of 16.21%. Oh. And that means every year 16.21 of, so 10,000 into 16.21% will become 1,621. So that is your depreciation every year. But 40% of 10,000 will be 4,000. So please look here. This is your tax computation. Okay. So now let us see it. Let us actually come to some understanding first. Only first year alone we will work out. 10,000, 40%, so 4,000 depreciation. Okay. Now the entity has accounting and taxable profits of 20,000 from first year to fourth year. So for simplicity, accounting and taxable profits both are same. Accounting and taxable profits both are same. Not necessary. Okay. So here, since I am doing the computation of this is computation of tax. This is computation of tax. First table. The second table is computation of provision for a tax under the books of accounts. So as per your tax provision, 4,000 is your depreciation. So profit before depreciation, okay, under the income tax is 20,000. Depreciation is this. Profit after depreciation is 16,000. Okay. So this is tax profit before depreciation. This is tax depreciation 4,000. 16,000 is tax profit after depreciation. Okay, tax profit. Now on 16,000, you will pay 30% tax. Tax rate is 30%. So 4,800 is your tax amount. So please wait here. Now come to first year, as per books of accounts, 10,000, depreciation is 16.21. That means 1,621 is depreciation. Now what is your accounting profit before depreciation? 20,000. On that you will subtract depreciation, you will get accounting profit after depreciation is 18,379. Here it is 16,000, here it is 18,379. Now, what is your current tax? What is your current tax? Now, as per the definition, your current tax is the amount of income tax payable in respect of taxable profit. So, this is your 4,800 is your current tax. Please understand. This 18,379 is your profit before tax in that Gandhimati as well as Butterfly Gandhimati Appliances and Rallis India Limited profit before tax. So this is 18,000 less tax expense. Now less tax expense means what is your tax expense? One current tax. Okay. So first is your tax expenses, current tax plus deferred tax. Now what is your current tax? Current tax I will calculate from here 4,800. Okay, 4,800. So that 4,800 I am subtracting. Okay. Now here I want to make one small observation before I go further. Okay, before I go further. So what is it? I will now introduce a term called effective tax rate. Okay. This is explained in para number 81 as well as 86. So what is 81? Please look here. Okay, 81. They are giving us something called effective tax rate. What is 81? Please look at 81. Following shall also be this is 81. Following shall also be disclosed separately. In disclosure, you have to give this. So what is it you will give? Please look at C. An explanation of the relationship between tax expense and accounting profit. So what is your accounting profit, my dear friends? In this question, my accounting profit is 18,379. Okay. And what is your, so an explanation of the relationship between tax expense is 4,000 tax expense and accounting profit in either or both of the following forms. In this one or this one, anyone you have to explain. I'll explain the second one. A numerical reconciliation between the average effective tax rate and the applicable tax rate. So what is your applicable tax rate? 30%. What is your average effective tax rate? Average effective tax rate they have defined in 86. Please look at 86. This is 86. The average effective tax rate is the tax expense divided by the accounting profit. So what is your accounting profit, guys? Your accounting profit is 18,379. Okay. So this is your denominator. So please look at this. Average effective tax rate is numerator should be tax, denominator should be the accounting profit. So numerator should be, and denominator is your accounting profit. So 18,379. Tax amount 4,800. This is your current tax. So your effective tax rate is, please look here, G divided by F. So 4,800 divided by 18,379. So it is 26.12. This is called effective tax rate. I repeat, this is called effective tax rate. But he says give a reconciliation. Now what is the question he says? What is the disclosure you have to give? You have to give the explanation of the relationship between tax expense and accounting profit. Okay, in either of the following ways. So I am coming for the next one. Please look at the next one. So now you understood what is meant by effective tax rate. Now, as per the normal your tax rate, it is 30%. If at all, technically in your books of accounts, what you will do? Oh, my profit is actually 18,379. On the 30% is how much? 5,513.7, 5,514. You will actually make a provision of 5,514 in your normal sense. In your normal sense, what you call as provision for tax. But is that the actual? Is that the actual provision? Is that the actual tax you pay? No. The actual tax you pay is 4,800. So the 4,800 is your current tax, and 5,516 is your total tax expense. So thus, from the above two tables, for an accountant, the tax should be 5,514 in all cases as per the accounting profit, because same this 5,514. the results are distorted. You will observe that in year 3 in books, okay, the amount of tax provision is higher by 54 because it is 5,514. Here it is 5,568. You pay more. Actual tax payment is more. Okay, the actual tax payment is more. So 5,568 you pay, but you provide in your books of accounts only 5,514. Okay, so therefore, and in year 4 it is higher. In year 4 what it is? So 227. So you actually pay 5,741, but you make a provision of 5,514. So therefore, this is so because year 1 and 2 these figures are lower and these figures are. That is why your temporary difference is coming. So your temporary difference reasoning I am giving here with an example. So in the beginning years, your tax amount will be lower because of higher depreciation. In actual tax will be lower because of higher tax depreciation. Reverse, as you proceed under income tax, you will pay more tax because depreciation will become lesser in the later years. But that is not the case in books of accounts. So therefore, in first year, what you will do is you will create a deferred tax liability because of the temporary difference. Because of the temporary difference. Now this temporary difference is what I am going to focus. So now we have understood many terms. The effective tax rate we have understood. The temporary difference I am going to explain now. Tax base also I explained. Okay, tax base also I explained. Now please come to the beginning. So this example is very, very important example for us to understand tax base. Now in that example, what is tax base? Let me explain the tax base here. So what is tax base here? The tax base is the taxable profit after depreciation, 16,000, 17,600, 18,560, 19,136. So that is called tax base. So what is your definition? Please go to the definition which is there in para number 7. Para number 7 speaks about the tax base. Please look at that. So what is tax base? So the temporary difference is the difference between your book carrying amount and the tax base. So what is your tax base? Tax base of an asset is the amount that will be deductible for tax purpose against any taxable economic benefit that will flow to an entity when it recovers the carrying amount of an asset. So here in this example, 100 minus 30, 70 is your tax base. But I want to give another interesting example here. Please look at second example. Interest receivable. Please look at this interest receivable. Now, I want to give two versions of this. What is interest? How will you pass an entry? For example, you have made a deposit. You have made a deposit and interest is receivable has a carrying amount of 100. So in your books of accounts, what do you do is credit your P&L account, debit your maybe your deposit or interest receivable 100. That is the entry you have passed. But under Income Tax Act, whether on accrual basis you will tax that interest or on cash basis you will tax that interest. That is very important. So the related interest revenue will be taxed on cash basis. Oh, then what is the tax base for? It is only on cash basis, not on accrual basis. So your books of accounts has 100, but your tax base is 0 only because tax base doesn't tax that 100 rupees during that year. So in that year, what is your tax base with respect to an asset? Okay, so interest receivable is an asset. As far as tax base of an asset for an interest receivable is concerned, it is 0. Why? Because you are not recognizing that at all. And as per the income tax provision, interest will be taxed on receipt basis. So that is the provision. Let us not go into the Income Tax Act section, diction and all now. I am just giving an example how to understand a tax base. Okay, so Lord, don't jump to sir, which section speaks like that and all. So like the carry backward, where is the provision for carry backward? You have to only imagine that if you have a provision like that. So therefore, here when you are understanding Ind AS 12, don't bother about the prescription under income tax law. Okay, so what is the section and all? Just understand the meaning which Ind AS 12 conveys, please. Please. Now, please look at the third example. Trade receivable have a carrying amount of rupees 100. Wow. So that means I have not yet received. So how generally receivable you will pass an entry? Credit to your sales, debit receivable. Credit to your sales, debit receivable. Now point to be noted. The related revenue has already been included in taxable profit. Wow. So that means tax also is considered. So what is the tax base for receivable? 100. But tax base for interest receivable is 0. Why? Because income tax act doesn't consider it. Income tax act only considers. So tax trade receivable, income tax act considers accrual basis. But interest, income tax act doesn't consider. Okay, the same is possible. The same is possible. There are many provisions also I can give in income tax, but I will not bore you with the income tax provisions. You need to first appreciate the tax base concept. Okay, so that is what is tax base. So once you understood tax base, very easy to actually capture the temporary difference. Now come to temporary difference. Now temporary difference is the difference between carrying amount of an asset and its tax base. Similarly, carrying amount of liability is also there. I'll give another example of carrying amount, tax base of a liability. This is a tax base of a liability is its carrying amount less than any amount that will be deductible for tax purpose. Example, please look here. Now, let me take a current liability includes in your balance sheet. Current liability includes accrued expenses. Now, how will you pass an accrued expenses? An accrued expenses is payable. Next year it is payable. Okay, another 6 months it is payable. So what you will do? You will say outstanding expense, debit P&L account, credit your current liability, outstanding expense, 100 rupees. The related expense will be deductible for tax expense only on cash basis. Only when you pay, it is deductible. Only when you pay, it is deductible means what is the tax base? It is 0. There is no liability as far as tax base is concerned. So therefore, the tax base of accrued expense is nil. But let me take a reverse example. Please look at 3. Current liability include accrued expenses with a carrying amount of 100. The related expenses have already been deducted for a tax purpose. Example, bad debt. Example, provision for warranty. Remember, provision for warranty, income tax, it is deductible. This is one provision. We have a case law also for a kind information. So, in books also you provide, there also in income tax also there is. So, what is the tax base? 100. Now, for your kind information, what is recorded in books, what is being allowed under income tax, both are same. There is no temporary difference. There is no temporary difference. Okay, that is to be noted. Very important, very important concept. But once you understand this, deferred tax asset, deferred tax liability is very clear. Okay. Now, what is taxable temporary difference? Now, temporary difference is difference between your book balance, that is carrying amount in asset or liability, and your tax base. This difference is called temporary difference. Now, this temporary difference can be taxable temporary difference. Now, what do you mean by taxable temporary difference? Taxable temporary difference means these difference will result in taxable amount in determining taxable profit of the future period where the carrying amount of the asset or liability is recovered or settled. Meaning, this taxable temporary difference means your tax base is, I repeat, tax base is less. Tax base is less. That means your carrying amount of the tax is less. Carrying amount here is more. So when your carrying amount of the asset is high and your carrying amount, tax base is less. Okay, for example, in the depreciation here, as per tax base is only 30. 100 minus 70 you are depreciated. But here you have only depreciated 100 minus 40. So 60 only it is there. So here it is 30. Oh, so that means still in books you will depreciate 60. But as per income tax, you will only get a 30 depreciation. You will only depreciate 60. But you will get that benefit of 60 in your income tax. You will only get the benefit of 30. So the difference between this 30 and 60, which is again 30, on that you have to pay tax in future. So therefore, taxable temporary differences will result in deferred tax liability. So deferred tax liability are the amount of income tax payable in future. Exactly reverse, like this. That means your tax base is high, your accounting carrying amount is less. So then you say only carrying amount is only 20. So 20 only you will depreciate. Here carrying amount is 70. So 70 income tax depreciation you are eligible. So difference between these two, 50 depreciation on which tax benefit is there for you in future. That is called deferred tax asset. So deferred tax asset or the amount of income tax recoverable in respect of deductible temporary difference. Deductibles, 50 is deductible. Temporary difference between 20 and 70 is 50. Very, very important. I think this understanding, if it is there, the what do you call it as the next few paragraphs are very simple. I will only add some mirchi masala. Here and there, you need to only add some mirchi masala. Like for example, how will you do in revaluation? How will you do in revaluation? Maybe with revaluation, I will try to actually stop my discussion today. Please look at revaluation. I want to share with you para number 20. Okay, para number 20 and 51A. I want to share with you this. Revaluation. Very interesting. Okay, what will you do? Ind AS permit or require certain assets to be carried at fair value or to be revalued. Oh. For example, Ind AS 16 property, plant and equipment, Ind AS 38 intangible assets you can do revaluation, cost model or revaluation model you can do, Ind AS 109 financial instruments. In some jurisdiction, the revaluation or restatement of asset to fair value affects tax profit for the current period. Then some jurisdiction means subject to the tax prescription, tax law prescription. Okay. As a result, the tax base on asset is adjusted to no temporary difference arises. Now I'll give you an example. So every para, if you look from an example perspective, I shall share with you para number 51A. Let me go to 51A. In 51A, I'll give you an example. So let me take you 51A. This is 51A. Now this is a para number which you need to read this. Please look at this. This is an item of property, plant and equipment with a cost of 100. Wow. Carrying amount of 80. So that means my book balance is I have 100 minus 20 I have depreciated. Book balance is 80. To be revalued to 150. Damal. I'll go to, because it has a good because no such machineries are there, and I think they have revalued it for economic future benefit, all those stuff and all they put it. No equivalent adjustment is made for tax purpose. Cumulative depreciation for tax purpose is 30. So 100 minus 30 is 70. So tax base is 70. Now tax base is 70 and carrying amount is 80. Okay. Temporary difference is there? Yes, temporary difference is there. Okay. Now 80 is revalued to 150. Okay. Good. Now what is the tax rate? 30. If the item is sold for more than cost, the cumulative tax depreciation of 30 will be included in taxable income, but sale proceeds in excess cost will not be taxable. Good. Now, tax base is 70. There is a taxable temporary difference of 80. Why? Because the carrying amount from 100 to 80 has no revalue to 150. So, my carrying amount in books is 150, but my tax base is 70. So, 70 and 150 difference is 80. Will you say 80 into 30%? 80 into 30%. 24 is the deferred tax liability. No, wrong. Deferred tax liability, no, wrong. Why? Because that actual cost is 100. Book value, original book value is 100. 100 to 150 is never recorded in books of accounts and doesn't. So you can only bring it in your other comprehensive income. That 150 impact you cannot give in P&L account. You can only give the depreciation impact also even in other comprehensive income, only not in P&L account. So therefore, the out of 24 deferred tax liability on the 50, that 100 to 150, the difference 50 into 30% is 15 rupees. So 24 minus 15, 9 only will be the deferred tax liability that will be recognized. Please look here. So cumulative tax depreciation 30. Proceeds in excess of cost is 50. Okay, I will only recognize 30% of 39. Or you have calculated which is 30% of 80, which is 24. Out of that, the gap between 150 and 100, it is actually an appreciation, revaluation in excess of the cost. Anything in excess of the cost, please look at this particular para. If the item is sold for more than cost, the cumulative tax depreciation will be included in taxable income, but sale proceeds in excess of cost will not be taxable, for your kind information. Okay, so that is why deferred tax liability. Okay, because that will be even in India, even in your India is 16 property, plant and equipment. The depreciation with respect to that 50 will be only routed through your other comprehensive income, for your kind information. Okay, so it's a very interesting example for you to understand. So deferred tax liability will be 30% of that 30 only, not the balance 50 which is above 100. So thank you very much, friends. I must now appreciate. Yes, so we have Mr. Pradeep Kaneja. So may I now request Mr. Pradeep Bhai to give the closing remarks and do the needful summary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gopalakrishna Raju sir, for coming to this program and deliberate your knowledge and your experience on India's income tax. It was very nice and wonderful program. I hope all our participants are able to discount all these things, whatever you have told them, and they are able to listen and they are able to understand the things. I also thank you all the participants who are with us during the whole 1 hour, and also earned so much knowledge about this program. And thank you so much. I also would like to thank you, our newly elected president and vice president of the institute, CMA Biswarup Basu sir and CMA P Raju Iyer sir. I also would like to thank CMA Padmanabhan sir. Thank you so much. And with this institute anthem, we would like to conclude this program. Thank you.
असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्युर्मामृतं गमया मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
Thank you all the participants. Thank you very much.